Zebec ZBCN is making some massive moves in 2026, and we're just getting started. In this video, we're going to talk about the recent announcement that Stellar has chosen Zebec as the stablecoin global infrastructure provider. Let that sink into how massive that really is, especially when we're talking about partnering with a network like Stellar XLM. This is huge. This is exciting. This is proving that Zebec is on the right track. And if you've been following Zebec for some time now, you too have been on the right track. And additionally, in this video, we're going to talk about the recent announcements with Zebec and Crypto.com and what they are doing for retirements. This is huge. I think we're going to see a lot more news stories coming from Zebec. They're just now getting started. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and hop into the video. Let's start off with the first story, which of course is going to be the Stellar Zebec partnership. This comes out from Zebec's X account on March 19th, 2026. Read along with me just in case you missed this. Check it out. It says Stellar has selected Zebec as its global stablecoin payroll infrastructure provider for the Stellar ecosystem. This expands our partnership with one of the original blockchain networks in crypto, powering global payments and remittances, including a direct integration into MoneyGram's 50 million customers across Latin America and beyond. So beyond the excitement of it being the global stablecoin payroll infrastructure provider, which is massive and that is heavy, that's exciting. What's also exciting to me, what stood out, it states that Stellar has selected Zebec. It wasn't necessarily Zebec choosing Stellar. The key difference there is obviously Stellar is the bigger network between the two, and Stellar is choosing Zebec. This is exciting, but also this isn't that shocking because if you've been following this channel for a while, we've actually covered Zebec and Stellar working together about 5 months ago. I will leave that video down in the description in the pinned comment so you can find it. But this is something we've been tracking for a while on this channel, and we are now seeing that it's all coming to fruition. So it's exciting to see that this is actually coming true. Now let's read on more about this article and what's coming out, what's being built, why is this exciting, right? Let's learn more about this. But if you are somebody that wants to dive into the research, which I highly suggest you do your own research, all my research is down in my description because I want you to use that for your own benefit. I want you not just take my word for it or anybody else's word for it. Go do your own research. That is very important. Now let's move into the news story. Let's read more about this and let's learn about what's being built, right? So check out your screen with me, read along. We have what's being built. At a high level, Zebec will enable businesses to pay employees and contractors on Stellar in real time by the second. Instead of waiting days or weeks for payroll to clear, earnings can be streamed continuously, accessed instantly, and used immediately. Behind the scenes, this rollout combines 3 simple steps into one seamless flow. Stream earnings in stablecoins USDC, receive funds directly into a digital wallet, spend or cash out globally through cards or local pickup. This creates a closed loop system with money moves as fluidly as the work it pays for. This build will roll out in phases, starting with core payroll functionality and expanding into full global payout rails, including integration with Fiat and on and off ramps and remittances networks. So pay attention to this part right here, what I just read last. It says that this will roll out in phases, which is including integrations with Fiat and on and off ramps and remittances networks. I'm going to touch on this at the back end of this video and kind of bring all this together. That thumbnail will make more sense once I do so. But looking back on this, this is exciting because what's being built, to think about it again, is the streaming earnings in USDC, right? Receive funds directly into a digital wallet, spend or cash out globally through cards or local pickup. This is giving people the option to use crypto or fiat. This is something that Zebec is doing very well and making a reality for people out there, especially when we think about getting paid in crypto and moving over to the blockchain. We are seeing that in real time. So people that think that crypto is dead, I think they're wrong. We're just getting started. I think this is more or less the quiet before the storm, if you will. But let's read on more about this and see why Stellar. What's important about Stellar and Zebec working together? If you're watching this channel, you probably already know why Zebec is exciting, what Zebec is doing. So let's go ahead and jump into the side of why Stellar. We're going to continue reading from that same article, and that's going to show us what's going on here. So let's read on. It says, why Stellar? So Stellar has always been a purpose built for payments, specifically cross-border payments. But I want to skip down to right over here. It says Stellar processes hundreds of thousands of transactions daily, including more than 250,000 USDC transactions, with stablecoin volumes reaching tens of millions of dollars per day. Transactions costs are typically less than a cent, making high-frequency payments and streaming economically valuable. Settlement happens in seconds, removing delays and reducing risk in payroll timing. Its global anchor network connects digital assets to local banking systems across the globe. Stellar also sits in a rare position with crypto. It operates in alignment with payment standards such as ISO 20022 and maintains deep connectivity to payment providers, fintechs, and regulated institutions. This is infrastructure designed not just for blockchain users, but for a broader financial system. So we know that Stellar is going to be able to process these payments quickly and cheaply. That is amazing. That's huge. And then also with Zebec, again, is streaming by the second, getting paid by the second. That is mind blowing. Can you really comprehend what that means? That's exciting to see this happening. And again, if you've been following this channel, we've been talking about how it does not pay to be tribal here, because these projects will be working together. The new system is a module system that you can click and put together to make it beneficial to you as the consumer, especially if you're somebody that is one of these bigger players, either bigger banks, bigger brokerages. You can kind of piece together the system that you want that makes it the most impactful for you. And that's going to be done by layering these different projects together. So do not be tribal out there. But before we move on and read more about the MoneyGram situation, please hit that like button if you found anything in this video new or informational. And if you already hold Stellar, Zebec, let me know which one's your favorite one down in the comments. If you like this kind of reporting, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We would love to have you part of this channel. Now let's get back into this story. Let's read more about the MoneyGram reach and why this is exciting. Outside of Stellar, already processing 250,000 USD transactions per day, and then also more than tens of millions of dollars on their network already. Now Zebec is tapped into it. Now let's read how they're tapping into the MoneyGram situation and what that provides for this new partnership. Check it out with me, read along. We have real world reach with MoneyGram, sorry. One of the most powerful aspects of this integration is what happens after the payment is made. Through Stellar's integration with MoneyGram, users can convert digital dollars into local currency at more than 450,000 locations across 170 countries. That is massive. That means a worker paid in USDC can receive funds instantly, and their family can pick up cash minutes later anywhere from Manila to Mexico City. No banks required, no delays. This is where blockchain moves beyond theory and into everyday use. What this unlocks: for businesses, global payroll without banking friction; for workers, instant access to earnings; for the ecosystem, a real-world use case at scale. Zebec on Stellar's payroll, built for how the world actually works. Okay, so we now see that Zebec is going to be working on the Stellar network, providing real-time payroll settlements through Stellar, also tapping into the MoneyGram reach that they do have. They have a massive reach globally. But now let's move into the other side of this news, where we have Crypto.com and Zebec teaming up and offering a IRA account. This is another massive move for Zebec. Again, this brings more validity and trust into this network. Read along with me. This does come out on March 20th, 2026. Again, from Zebec's X account. Check it out with me. It says, buy ZBCN in a tax-free IRA account via Crypto.com. This means U.S. users can hold Zebec Network's token inside a tax-advantaged retirement account alongside BTC, stocks, and ETFs, payroll infrastructure, on-chain finance, and now a part of your retirement strategy. The future of money isn't just being built, it's being saved. So this is massive. Again, this brings more validity to this network, Zebec, through Crypto.com. And we've been hearing about different retirement funds allowing different crypto digital assets into these retirement funds through like Fidelity, etc. And we're starting to see that become more of a reality. And it's interesting all this news comes out as we get closer to that Clarity Act being signed. And we just recently saw the SEC and the CFTC finally set their own rules and regulations around what is a digital asset commodity versus something that's a security. We're starting to see this finally get some clarity and start to unfold. Now let's move into this part here, which I wanted to point out. So if you've been around this channel for a while, you probably have seen this video right over here. Which one will we use right here? This video right over here, which is the payments powerhouse. This is the connection between Stellar and Zebec. This is something we did 5 months ago. We're calling out that partnership, but I also want to call out this other partnership, and I'm going to do this for a reason. This is the other video we did here, which is the Zebec and Ripple exposed. And again, we kind of tied what Zebec and Ripple's working together. Now we have Stellar, Zebec working together. But we're going to put all this together here. I'm bringing that up for a reason because I want you to show, I'm going to show you this here. This is what I think the system, or at least a piece of it. I'm not saying this is the end all be all, but I can see this all working together, especially as we look at these four networks I'm about to show you. These four networks all seem to work together and they all have some kind of ties to each other in the back end somehow. We've covered that on the channel through those videos if you want to check them out. But take a look at your screen with me and we're going to kind of walk through what I see the financial system looking like, or at least a fraction of it, a portion of it. So check it out. Here we have the future financial system. I think personally that the XRP is going to be the liquidity engine, of course, for cross-border payments, helping no-stro, Vostro accounts, etc. If you've been around, you know what XRP is doing. Stellar, of course, is the settlement network, enables fast, low-cost global transactions. Then we have SHX is something I threw in here because this is an important one, which is going to help the Fiat crypto gateway. It's going to connect bank accounts to blockchain, enable Fiat on and off ramps. And this is where I was going to speak about earlier when we're reading about Zebec ZBCN and their new announcements coming out in phases, how they're going to have a fiat crypto on and off ramp essentially, right? And that's something that SHX Stronghold does very well. And then we have Zebec ZBCN money streaming, of course, as we spoke about. So to cap it off, we have XRP providing the on-demand liquidity. We have Stellar being the settlement network that's going to be quick, fast, trusted. We have SHX Stronghold being the on and off ramp from fiat to crypto. And then we have Zebec ZBCN being the network that's going to offer streaming payments in real time. And yes, each one of these networks do different things outside of what I just announced, but that is the kind of main feature of each one of these. And this is what I want to show you is do not be tribal, because they all have to work together to make this new financial system work. So hopefully you enjoyed something in this video. If you did, again, consider hitting that like button, leaving a comment down below which one of these four are your favorite projects between XRP, Stronghold, XLM, Zebec. And if you like this kind of style of reporting, consider being a subscriber of the channel. We would love to have you. But before I let you go, guys, as always, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, and become that change you want to see. I'll see you on the next one.